Did you ever make a style of music where you were just like, man, this is not the music that I've been releasing, but I really like it? This happened to me with this song that I have here, which is a song to me because I've always wanted to make something like it. When I was younger, I would listen to a bunch of Robert Miles and play soccer. Back then, they would make these compilations on YouTube where they would have like the Robert Miles music playing and then like Fernando Torres or Ronaldo like just doing crazy thing. And then I would imagine myself doing stuff I will listen to. So anytime I make something, I want to make sure you can run to it. There's a good payout at the end where you're gonna sprint that last stretch. Sprint, like I'm running, I'm like, okay, and then you hit it. There are a couple of things about the song that I think people might enjoy. The first one is the piano. I always get asked about this very iconic piano sound, and I have to say that it's a little bit of pay to win because yes, you need the Korg M1 to do it. So what you want to do is you're going to go into program and you're going to go to browser and then you're going to hit that M house piano. And there it is. Now we do have to process it a bit. One of my favorite saturators right now is a Thermonic Vulture Culture. I'm willing to sell a kidney to get one in real life. Decimort 2 for a bit of brightness. From there, I like to use a compressor that everyone that doesn't know how to use or set up a compressor uses, or Teletronics LA2A, which is good for vocals. But the reason I like using stuff like this, you don't want to deal with attack and release issues. You just want to kind of go like, yeah, that sounds dope. I like this style of compression. I like the color it gives. And versus when I open up an Ableton compressor or these compressors that are meant to do everything, you can get a little bit more like, again, like choice paralysis. There's too many points in between the lines. Echo, using the character to duck, so you can still hear the piano. Look. That brings down the volume of the echo. And then the way it releases that echo, you control with the release here. I always get people telling me stuff like, you got to try Pro Q3 and all this. But to this day, unless I'm looking to sound thick, I'll use the EQ8 for everything, bro. Especially just for adding basic stuff. We like our leads in the front, bro. And finally, a Trackspacer to allow the vocal to sit in the front when it hits. Now for this song, I wanted the first drop to be different from the second drop. The main reason is, again, like I wanted that last drop to be more anthemic, just be like a good payout. We use this very iconic sound that you hear in dance music, which is the seventh heaven, which sounds like that. Now, I do have a couple of analog synths, and I love using them when I make music, especially for myself. If I don't have to meet a deadline, I can spend a whole day just working with them and making music. And to be honest, I think the best music that I make has always came when I've been using my analog synths for a couple of things. Tactile feel. It's a different vibe. You appreciate the sound a little more because one, you either spend a lot of money on it, or two, feels more real. Turning the nipple, as I say. Hard. So I made the sound of the Moog Matriarch. However, if you have Serum, you can make something very similar to it as well. Sound is two squares are going to be playing a very harmonic sound, which sounds like this. Okay, one of them can go down, add more grit, and you can play with the voicing. To me, analog does sound a lot better than digital. It makes life a little easier when it comes to processing, and you get a warmer sound. The question will always arise, will the listeners care? Will you care? Because you're going to be listening to this song on Spotify, am I right? This is what I told one of my friends at my daughter's jiu-jitsu gym as I was watching them roll and I was playing music out from the Bluetooth that I've worked on. In my studio, music doesn't sound as nice as it does in the real world, and I can hear the difference. To me, it matters. It matters a ton just because, again, it's the conscience, bro. I'm not going to be able to go to sleep if the sound ain't right. And I also created this white layer with the Moog Matriarch, which you can't really hear. The thing I like about the Matriarch, it's its own little beast. It has a certain vibe to it. Is it expensive? Fuck yeah. It's worth it to me. A lot of my clients always love the stuff I do with the Matriarch. Again, I wanted to add these nice vocals here on the drop, and I want to do the gated thing. So stutter vocals. To create this gate, I used the Kilohearts Trance gate. And I love this thing because it allows us to do the gate, but as you can see, you can input the rhythm you want in a circular format. And then you have ADSR, attack, decay, sustain, release, the rhythm you want in a circular format. And then you have ADSR, don't confuse it with Mary Vaughn's track, which is a banger. And then from there, the mix is at 77%, so that you can still hear part of the vocal and not everything is ba 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 ba. So check it out. 70. This trance gate is after a reverb. The reverb is also getting chopped. And if I put it here, maybe it sounds the same. But in my head, theoretically, it made sense to chop the reverb, but not the delay. For some reason. Compressor, when you don't want to deal with shit, you put this on. Because it's a vocal, right? So you can do grab part of the vocal that we would want to... From there, grab part of the vocal that I thought sounded cool, the baby part. Just, want to give you guys a little bit of PTSD with the Justin Bieber's Baby. And then the reverse. By hitting the R, you can reverse. It's the same, but just reversed. Right? So this is cool if you want to add like cool vocal chop variations and stuff. Then we have this sound, which again, Spire is one of those synths that is goated. It's old, it's like silent, but it still has a place. Now with this track, I pretty much came to one of the biggest revelations in my music production career, and that is compress the crap out of your bass. And a lot of you guys are gonna be like, no, don't do that. And I'm gonna be like, yes, do it. I'm gonna be that crazy friend. Do it, John. So I made the bass utilizing the Moog Sub 37. We have the Thermonics Vulture Culture. Saturate. Pensado EQ. I wouldn't necessarily sell a kidney for it, but all I'm doing is boosting at 330 by a tiny bit. Look how much I'm compressing by. The reason I like this plugin again is just, it's made by Black Salt Audio. They gave it to me for free a long time ago. They just sent me a care package. They're like, here. And I was like, do you guys want anything? No. And I know why, because I guess the guy knew I would eventually show it in a video, and he was like do your thing, bro. So the reason I like this thing is, again, I'm compressing below 83 hertz. Right? The one thing that I've learned from this synth is that a bass should be very basic. All I need is a good filter, good square saw. From there, lower the filter. Coming together.
Nice.
I'm making up some of it, but I am compressing very heavy, the kick and the bass, the low end again. And what you're going to notice is that when we do this, kick and bass come to the front. Now, as I hear this, I'm starting to think that wasn't such a good idea. It's okay. Can't be perfectionist, bro. And what I've noticed, again, using reference plugins, is that a lot of the low end in most music that we like is so compressed, and I didn't even know it. I've been making my basses too punchy, bro. The other very interesting section for me, create a bridge, but I didn't just want to do a bridge. I wanted to do a bridge in a dope way. Provide new sound. So there's this sound in particular. Which sounds beautiful. What I did was I grabbed the melody and literally just saw, okay, how can I make it sound slower, right? So one of the things you can do is just elongate and remove the passing notes. Passing notes are the ones that are leading to the note that I want to get to. And there it is, see? Once I did that, I did this for everything, right? And I put effort in Portal from output. This is my pimp. This is my drug dealer. If you know, if a pothead needed weed, this is my pothead, my dealer, bro. This is good stuff. So what I like to do is, again, I'll just go through them. There you go. I love that. Already paying in dividends, the $100 I spent on that thing. By the way, if you like any of the plugins in this video, I have an affiliate link. Support your boy. Okay, and from there, I would resample it like this, and then hit record, and just play it, and you get ear candy. Look at that, and then go through them too. Like you can go. Right. And the cool thing about audio is that it makes you think differently, first off. We can grab it, pitch it down by 12. You see, it sounds different. It sounds like a string now. You can go up by 12. And it sounds beautiful. So again, you have to kind of grab that. And from there, you create a sound design pie. And you just, as you can see here, this is what I came up with. And I liked it. And then you can see that there. So I did have to grab parts of it and pitch it, just harmony of the song, right? Because, you know, the thing with synth loops and stuff, a lot of people demonize them. And I think, yeah, they do cause harm. But when you know how to use them and you're willing to put in the effort to change stuff, it can lead you to some interesting tones that you wouldn't be able to reach with a synth, or ideas that you wouldn't have thought of to begin with. Like so. Obviously, evil sounds for the crash is always bra. From here, musical wise, I added this choir that happens at the end of the melody. There we go. And for the introduction of the song, for the break, I personally decided to use something very similar to what the drop is, which is, again, it's that 7th sound, but there's low end allowed to it. And eventually, it opens up. And again, I did this all in the matriarch. And when you're on an analog synth, again, it just wants you to turn the knob. So it makes life easier for me when I'm doing stuff like this, like that. It's adding emotion to it. You know, a lot of people will make music, and that's fine for the genre. They don't really care about this stuff. But making this has taught me, again, to be a very expressive person with the synths. Yes, they are digital, or it's electricity, but you can be so emotionful with it by programming and moving stuff. And that's something that, again, with analog synths, it's just more fun to do than, you know, to rub the pad in a sense. This track is called Hold On. It's been out for a while, but I never made a breakdown video of it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed and got something from this video. If you guys want to support me and support the channel, you can head over to evilsounds.com to find all my sound design work. If you want to support my musical endeavors, you can find my music on Spotify, and you can also go on Instagram. I have 2 separate accounts now, and if you want to follow the music stuff, you can go there as well. With that being said, you guys take care, and if you guys want to see another track breakdown, make sure to check out this video here where I break down Final Dance, one of my favorite tracks. I think it has one of the best mixes I've ever done on it. And I show you guys a couple of cool things and revelations in that one.